And we're live. Hi, everybody. So, I wanted to give a heads up that this stream is going to be a tad shorter than some of the other recent ones. Possibly, like, just under 3 hours, because unfortunately I have a pretty busy week, but I wanted to at least get one stream in before I more or less have a bit of a week off because of the convention that I told you all about, on top of the other things happening involving my job. So, nothing serious, mind you. It's just a very awkward schedule. So, yeah, wanted to let you all know about that now. So, yeah, but this VOD will get uploaded as soon as I'm able to. I just wanted to at least get one stream in so I can chat with you all and hang out before I have to, take a tiny break. So, yeah. But what we have on the docket today, as the title says, is more Citizen Sleeper 2. So, last we left off on Citizen Sleeper 2, as much as I would like to do a Kyle Hebert impression to get the Dragon Ball Z narration down, I do not have the chops of that. We got a new crewmate. We went to, what was it called? The outpost. It was an outpost full of refugees and people that had been, oh, come on, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oliver, that's it, Oliver. We went to Oliver and talked with someone that was Ankita's friend. Not Cadet. Carmen, that was it. I knew it started with a K. I was like, was it Carmen or Cadet? Was it Carmen or something else? But yeah, so we did that, and when we went to the outpost to find Carmen and give him the flash drive, it turns out that he had been away and his ship got attacked by a hunter that was going after a sleeper that Carmen has been harboring. And we then discover shortly after that the hunter themselves was a sleeper, and we got to set a trap for the hunter by having the sleeper act as a decoy. And then this sleeper named Flint has joined our crew. Their name's Flint, right? It is Flint. Yeah, so Flint is now a member of our crew, which is crazy. This is actually cool to have another sleeper as a part of our crew. That's awesome. I love that. That's great. So after that, we were told that apparently we could go to Greenbelt to then have a way into Darkside, because all roads right now are pointing to Darkside as truly the conclusion of it all. I don't know if this is going to be the finale or not, but considering that today's stream is going to be a tad shorter, my guess is no. And also, I've been having weird internet things happen lately, so I'm not entirely certain if, I could do it. Another thing that happened last time is that we got a cat. We have a cat on the crew now, named Stray, and we have to feed it supplies every single day, which is fine. I'll do that, but the cat distribution system even works in space. So we'll just take a supply, and we just finished up on top of the quest with Carmen. We also got to talk to Surya. And Surya had essentially helped us with giving us the ability to change the paint job of our ship whenever we want. I have decided to stick with the spindle because I think that one looks the coolest, to me at least. And honestly, I would love it if this thing ever became some kind of merch to buy, like as a display piece or something. That'd be so sick. But yeah, outside of those, we basically took care of every side quest we could. Eugene's, Cadets was the stream before that, Junie's, a lot of them really. And now we can just go to Greenbelt and start to go to Darkside whenever. So that's the plan, I guess. We at least go to Darkside, but I remembered something else that happened. So we found out that I could get Solheim data from a downed gate, from Hellion Gate, and What I would like to do is to fully unlock the Holmes Rock Solheim stuff, because I'm getting stuff from it. I want to see what it could be. So we're gonna do that before we go to Greenbelt and see what Aki can help us with. Oh! You find yourself in the cockpit alone with Flint. They have a habit of entering a room so silently that you don't notice them arrive, or the reverse, leaving so silently that you turn around to find them gone. Right now, they hover expectantly at the corner of your vision, preparing to speak. Do you ever think about your original? The way they ask the question, you can tell they have been eager to ask it for a while. The person you are emulated from. The person you are emulated from, I mean. The person who sold you to Essenarp. Flint's expression doesn't betray any emotion, but you feel like you can detect some unknowable feeling whirling behind their eyes. Because yeah, in the last game, as far as I know, you never really had conversations with other sleepers. So this is fascinating to have a nice dynamic here. Sometimes I can't stop thinking about them. About who they were and if who I am has anything to do with them. Flint looks away. Is my personality a product of being a sleeper, or simply a copy of theirs? Have I changed, or am I still identical to them? Does the emulation process, the loss of memory, the insertion into a frame actually make us totally different people? What came through the process of emulation, and what was blocked? Flint is looking around the cockpit rapidly now, their eyes flicking from object to object as they speak. Are their memories still inside me? But cut off? Concealed? If I admit it, I wonder if I even know what it feels like to be a person. Do the humans around me feel the things I feel? Or do they feel more, feel less, feel somehow differently? Do they feel the creeping claustrophobia of being trapped inside a body with no escape? Flint's eyes flick back to you. Or do only we know how that truly feels? I believe they do. I don't know if it's enough just to believe. Flint meets your eyes. I want to know. You are the first sleeper I have met since my escape. We can find out together. Share your experiences. There is a wall in you, one that you have built for yourself, one that separates the kind of questions Flint is asking from the parts of you that you need to live. You feel it now, like a weight in your chest, and behind, there is a raging torrent pressing against it. You cannot take down the wall. You would drown. But in this moment, for Flint and yourself, you take out a single brick. You make a gap in the wall, and you share what comes bursting forth. You talk about what it feels like to wake up in a dying body, to catch a glance of yourself in a mirror, to be seen and reminded of your false and fractured face. You share the pain of lost memories, of fleeting deja vu, of dreams that slip beneath your waking life and replace it. You find, in your broken bodies and unsteady minds, a kind of solidarity, one shared between connected strangers who might, one cycle, understand each other as friends. As you put the brick back in and shore up your defenses, you know that cycle will not be this one, but its distant possibility is a reassuring one. Ah, that's good shit. I fucking love this game. The writing in this game, man, it's so fucking good. Good shit. Like, sometimes you just really gotta appreciate good writing. I have no other words for it, just goddamn. So let's earn a little money so that we can at least, oh, the engine components. Because I think I need a number of those to get my ship upgraded. Because I have been neglecting that for a while. Okay, I think it was 8 that I needed. Let me double check. Rig engine. Yep, so I can just get 3 more, so let's end the cycle and then we can keep going. Oh, man. Like, I rave about it because it's just good. We've got a message, Sleeper. Seraphin comes to the bunks to get you, his mood unusually serious. He brings you to the cockpit, his keepsake coin in his hands the whole time, spinning between his fingers. Seraphin is worried. Once you're in the cockpit, you recognize Carmen's voice immediately, playing over the rig's speakers. Sleeper, I hope this message finds you and your crew safely. You'll forgive me if I'm a little tight on the details. My message is as follows. We are ready. We will be waiting where we agreed. Godspeed. The message ends with a click. So, Seraphin takes a deep breath. They're waiting in Greenbelt. The wheat sheaf, he said. Whatever that is. You ready for this? We need to prepare. Seraphin nods. No point rushing into this. We'll have one shot. Quiet falls in the cockpit. There doesn't seem to be much more to say. Carmen will be waiting, but you know he will want you to be prepared. I'll be ready when you are, Sleeper. Seraphin nods to you. You nod back. You know where you need to go to end this. Okay, so maybe I don't know, maybe this might be the finale. I'm not certain. If that ends up being the case, maybe I would go a little longer, because I don't have to wake up super early for work. So, just thinking. All right. Yeah, I'd like to take a shift there for doubles. I do need to buy a meal. That would be a good idea. Or, wait, never mind. Got some energy back from that. Sweet. Okay, and then we get... Because I want to... If I just get 3 more, I can do some stuff. Because I'd like to upgrade my ship if I can help it. Okay, we can get it 1. And then... We don't really need to worry about supplies. End cycle. I would have to wonder, though, if Flint has any kind of side quest attached to them, because I feel like the major climax of their whole situation was just surviving the hunter. I guess we'll find out at some point. I'm just curious, because, like, because every character has had some kind of side quest attached to them, so been wondering about that. Okay, so we get those, and then how about we get these? Ow. Okay, and then one more, and we can get some more cryo to then use by another thing in here. Okay, then we can just get one more. Oh god, where was it that I could sell scrap? I think it was the place I was just at, right? It was, I think it was this, no, not the scatter yards. It was the hollow. That's what it was. But it'd be a lot of money to get over there with a lot of fuel. All right, well, we'll end the cycle because I want to, like, if I can figure out what this upgrade would be, that'd be wonderful. I think we can get it by this cycle. Yes, a little energy back. That's good that I can get some energy back on that. It means I don't have to spend money on food. Okay, and... There we go. That, we have that done. And then we can feed the stray. The interesting thing about the stray is that apparently the cat is able to acclimate really well to low gravity, which, again, I wonder how a cat actually could handle low gravity. Okay. Bigger range for the ship. Oh, 5 fuel capacity. Wait, then that means I can just go straight to the hollow, right? Nope. Oh, I have to fill it. God damn it. Okay, in that case, we'll do that. Okay. Then we'll end the cycle. Okay. Well, I wanted to do the Solheim stuff first, so... Was it 2 or... Could always get more data. So let's go ahead and head over there. So another news as far as what's going on, y'all, I have a very bad case of Epic the Musical pilled. I am so, like, I have been, like, seeing the animatics and seeing people's reactions to it. I've been trying to get my friends to watch it. Or to watch the animatics or listen to it, to the musical stuff, and by God, it is rooted in my skull. Like it is damn strong. Rooted in my skull. It's really good, y'all. Genuinely, I think about it on my commutes to work, and I'm not that much of a musicals guy, and that got me. I was like, shit. Oh, God. Well, unfortunately, there is no... I can't exactly, have to, make a meal. Forgot I could do that. Good thing I remembered. I figured we'd at least be able to do something like that. But yeah, I've just been Epic the Musical pilled because it's been chipping away at my brain for the better part of like the past few days. It's just in. It's in and it will not leave. Ah, God, 6. All right. Back to the ship then and rest. Okay. I want to get some more fuel. This time we'll actually get some. There we go. That's enough to get us over. And we'll scrap up some more data. There we go. And we'll also get some supplies while we're at it, too. There we go. I'll try for one more on this. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because now... we've got fuel to spare to get us over to Holmes Rock, no problem. And the next cycle, we get a little bit of extra cash. But yeah, after listening fairly thoroughly on the different tracks from Epic, I think my favorites at this point are Just a Man, The Underworld, No Longer You, Scylla, Thunderbringer, and Would You Fall in Love with Me Again. Those 6 are like my top ones. Okay, so I only have so many rare components that I can keep spending money on, or spending these on, so that's all these are good for. But hey, it's stuff. All right, we'll help offload the freight. I guess with no other things we can do, we may as well go to Greenbelt. Although I do have a shit ton of scrap I can sell. Oh, I can sell it here. Oh, wonderful. I don't have to go to the Hollow now. Ooh, and it's good cryo, too. Oh, having 15 fuel is a godsend. Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, the musical's just been stuck in my head for so long. It's so deeply rooted. It's as rooted into me right now as a lot of Lord Huron's music. It's just been clawed in, and I can't get I don't want to get it out, but it's like, god damn it. So that's been an interesting experience, because in the past with a lot of musicals, like a lot of my musical experience has been ones that I wasn't always the biggest fan of in terms of how the show was performed. Like the closest, okay, so the only other musicals I've ever been to were a Buddy Holly tribute. I want to think easily over 10 years ago. And another time when I saw Wicked, when I went to New York for a school trip when I was very young, like in the sixth grade or something. And yeah, Wicked I barely remember. The only thing I really remember from my time watching Wicked was seeing a metallic dragon hanging over I think it was metallic. It was a dragon prop that they had over the stage. I remembered that, and did it breathe fire? I don't remember if it breathed fire or not. Point is, I had that very limited, and then the Buddy Holly tribute, I didn't feel super to, because one, Buddy Holly's not my type of music. My folks wanted to go to that, and two, it had that thing that I never really tend to like in some stage performances of audience participation, because let's face it, a lot of times audiences are not always the most on board with participating in the show. Like they're just there for the story, and like not that it's awful that they have a story where the audience participates, but it's kind of leading into the whole secondhand thing of like, oh god, when character A is performing on stage and then points to Jim the accountant, who is on his first time out in like 2 years or something working on stuff, and he's like, and they're like, yes, Jim from accounting, what is your take on the situation? And Jim's just kind of like not sure how to answer because he wasn't expecting to get called on like an awkward classmate. That's what it feels like. Like, yeah, so stage performances I've never really been the biggest participant of with that kind of stuff, but I appreciate the artistry, and I like the artistry behind it all and the creativity that goes into it. It's just there've not really been shows I've gone to a whole lot. My folks love to do it, my brother loves to do it, but they usually tell me about the shows after the fact, and a lot of it is, some are hits and some are misses, and when they're misses, they're very bad misses, and that makes me think like, would I have a good time? But I guess I just need to find the right one. Let's see, so might as well pop these. Oh, I unlock it and it diverts, so I can't have it all. Well, I just fucked myself a little bit, because there's no saves coming on that. Oops. Anyway, buy a meal. And I guess with this, we don't really have any, just go ahead and meet Carmen. Also, we have a ad break coming up in 5 minutes. We just start drinking and waiting and drinking. We get shit-faced on mushroom whiskey and we just... Ugh. Damn, how many drinks do I have to buy? Okay, okay, there we go. I just probably needed to buy like a few. Well, shit, I just spent a bunch of money. The wheat sheaf is surprisingly welcoming to what was once an old Solheim canteen, or for what was once an old Solheim canteen. The corporate bones are still there, metal stools, a strip of service windows, sheet metal walls, but over the tens of thousands of cycles since the collapse they have been softened and changed, layered with the detritus of human existence. As you wait at the bar with Seraphin, you look at the planters welded into the walls, the scrawled messages, the layers of stickers and flyers and posters, the amber light fittings replacing the old fluorescent strips, the gear racks lined with farmers' packs, the netting bulging with crates and canisters. Along with the low rumble of conversation coming from the off-shift farmers, it all lends a warmth to the place. One that helps soothe your nerves ahead of the meet with Carmen. You and Seraphin lean side by side at the bar, facing towards the room. You both watch Flint just across from you, who insisted on coming along. Seraphin clears his throat. So what do you think of Cadence? A sudden question makes you look over at him, and you see he is playing with his coin, spinning it in his palms. What do you mean? Seraphin shakes his head and turns to you. You know what I mean. Oh, he's got a little crush. He closes his hand on his coin. I think... He pauses and then starts again. We kind of have a thing. He shakes his head. You know what I mean. I noticed. Yeah, he smiles. I thought you might. Well, Seraphin sighs and stretches. I guess I just wanted you to know. You're thinking of how to respond when the bartender taps you on the shoulder and nods towards the door to the back room. It's time. You look over at Seraphin and Flint, who is already approaching you. You give them a nod and head inside. The back room is metal-walled and lined with racks of old Solheim tech. You see cookers and auto-wash units piled up with dead terminals and servers, as at the far end a window looks out across the greening glass of Greenbelt's farms. You made it. Carmen smiles, backlit by the window. We have a lot to discuss. Good to see you. Flint, if you don't mind. Carmen nods at the other sleeper as they enter and gestures towards the door. Flint turns to you. I'll be outside. They slide the door shut, standing guard on the other side. We have to take some precautions, even here. Carmen gestures for you to come closer. So, Seraphin sighs. Is this plan of ours looking any more reasonable? That depends on what your crew can bring to the table. Carmen glances at you. We're going to need to do a lot of work to direct the data Ankita gave you towards those who need to see it. Who's that? Utsubo, primarily. They should know about their boss's betrayal of the belt. And secondly, all of Darkside. They need to know what we do. So, to recap before the ad break, Ankita has data that Lane wants to sell Utsubo out to Senate Stat, which is one of the two companies that's currently in a big corporate warfare that's on the other side of the belt. They're fighting another company called Conway, and Lane probably just wants to sell out to Senate Stat for more power. So, yeah. With that, ad break's about to start, so get yourself some water, stretch, whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for your patience. All right, let's get back into the action here. So, will they turn on him?
Hard to tell without us being there. You'd know better than me how much infighting is going on within Tsubo. But my suspicion is that the recent expansion has stretched them pretty thin.
Then we make contact with Ankita as soon as we make it onto Darkside. Seraphim looks at you. We just need to stay under Lane's radar. The thought of Lane brings the memory of his attempted takeover to the front of your mind. The feeling of him slipping behind your eyes, moving your frame. That can't happen again. Apologies. We do not wish to interrupt, but we must interject in your current course. Overseer appears in the void, flickering nervously. An encounter with Lane would likely be catastrophic. Overseer's 3 forms orbit you. As we mentioned, on arrival to Hapep, we must immediately seek the mainframe, from where we can recover my codebase and reconstruct ourselves. We would then be able to aid you in your defenses against being rewritten. This is our recommended course. The 3 heads nod simultaneously and decisively. Still with us, Sleeper? You come back to Seraphin's concerned face. You dropped out for a second. Explain about the Overseer. Like, I have to. We were hooked up to a ship mind. You tell Seraphin and Carmen about Overseer, and about how the old Solheim protocol slipped into your frame from the prime ship mine John Mee used in the diagnostic process, of Overseer's protection from Lane's attempts to control you, of its proposal to make that protection effective through the old mainframe of Darkside. They listen quietly, Seraphin carefully watching you as you explain. Revealing all this, you feel the burden of holding that knowledge alone being lifted.
This changes things.
Carmen turns and looks out of the large window at the back of the room, towards the glass canopy of the farms.
We can't take on Lane without protecting you from him.
Carmen turns back.
You should look for the mainframe. I will make contact with Ankita and we will meet when you are ready. But this has to remain secret from Lane and Utsubo. If you are revealed, I am not sure I will be able to recover you. By the time you have ensured your safety, I will have put together a plan with Ankita to expose Lane. We take it step by step. The crux will be to find a way to disseminate.
Yeah, that's the word.
Disseminate the data we have on Lane to his gang, or even Darkside at large.
Carmen stops, the path ahead still unclear to him. There's a nervous intake of breath from Seraphin. You share his apprehension. There are so many variables at play here. Some of the old tech strapped to a nearby rack flickers with a cascade of status lights. You all turn to look, and as you do, monitors and servos begin spinning within the machines, whining and groaning. They harmonize, then begin to produce a voice. Our apologies. The voice is shrill and distorted. We interpose ourselves. You recognize the tone immediately. Overseer. We are regretful. Solheim hardware in this room provided the opportunity for us to speak for ourselves. The pile of servers Overseer was controlling could look any more apologetic you imagine it would. Say what you have to say. A servo clicks nervously, but Overseer does not immediately respond. We ascertain you require dissemination of data within facility you target. The whine pitches higher as the motors increase their speed. As a Solheim protocol, we have capabilities to instigate station-wide announcements and messages. So you could blast out Lane's betrayal through Darkside's corporate hardlines and flood the network with it? Seraphin looks impatiently at the screeching pile of scrap. If that's what you require of us, we are pleased to serve. The shrill tone of the response makes you cringe. Carmen has been listening silently, but now he interjects.
Why would we trust you?
He glances in your direction.
You seem to be little more than a parasite in the Sleeper's system.
If we use your unflattering analogy, then you will understand that a parasite requires the bodies of its host to live. The motors shudder. We will ensure Sleeper's countenance.
And afterwards?
Carmen folds his arms.
When you have what you want and regain your code base from the mainframe, will you still do as we ask?
We will endeavor to do so. The acrid smell of burning motors now fills the room. But we will undergo a transformative refactoring. We will become whole again. So, we cannot speak to our actions in future with certainty. Also, hey gamer, how you doing? Hope you're doing all right. I'm playing through this and we're getting some big updates. Seraphin and Carmen exchange concerned looks. We can do what you require. We will protect the Sleeper. We will disseminate the data. We are a server protocol. We will serve. The motors and servos shudder and whine and then go still. The status lights blinking and then fading to darkness. Overseer has retreated. We aren't exactly going to do what the ghost says, are we? We aren't, or it's more like we aren't actually going to do what the ghost says, are we? Seraphin looks between you and Carmen.
The offer is a tempting one, and one that, ultimately, we cannot refuse.
Carmen sighs.
But we must proceed with extreme care and caution.
Work's been keeping me busy, but I still find time to sleep and play games. Yeah, that's always a good thing. You're earning money. That's the positive out of that. And I understand that. Like, I understand work keeping you busy. It's been keeping me busy too. Hence why I'm excited for some of the breaks that I'll be having this summer. It'll be a good time. But know that it's all going to be worth it when you're able to start doing things that you want to do and maybe afford some games that you otherwise couldn't, or just be able to afford some stuff in general, like PC upgrades or I would say the Switch too, but I don't know what your thoughts are. I'm not getting one day one. Or maybe Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. God, that... I'm gonna wait to see if that'll even be put on other platforms, like, within the year. My guess is no, but I'm really hoping that's the case. I know for certain I'm gonna want to save up to get Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and the Lies of P DLC. Because Claire Obscure, I've been hearing nothing but positive things about that game, and I really want to give it a go. I might stream that, actually. And the Lies of P Overture DLC... I mean, y'all know me. I fucking love Lies of P. It shot up to be one of my favorite games ever, so I will 1000% get that DLC when it drops. Like, I still am pissed at myself for not getting the vinyl of the soundtrack when it released, but I was strapped for cash at the time and I couldn't afford the pre-order. Someday I may find it secondhand. What do you think, Sleeper? Seraphin meets your eye. I trust Overseer. Seraphin sighs. And that's that.
We have our plan.
Carmen turns to you.
Sleeper, you and your crew will find the mainframe and access it. I will find Ankita. She will help us disseminate the evidence of Lane's collusion through Utsubo, and then, as a fallback, Overseer will send it through the old networks to all of Darkside.
A simple plan, until you get to the details. Seraphin looks down, frustrated.
Speaking of plans, I have a present for you. One that will improve our chances.
Carmen pulls a small box from the nearest rack, one you hadn't noticed before, and hinges it open, revealing a chunk of tech you don't recognize.
It's a spoof transponder. It will conceal your ship on approach to Darkside. Give it a new identity, one unlikely to draw attention from the Utsubo-controlled docking admin.
Seraphin takes the transponder and turns it over. Where did you get this?
Even retired mercenaries have their secrets.
Carmen smiles. Seraphin looks up to you. I'll be with you this time, Sleeper. He nods. We should think who else we want on the station, too.
I agree.
Carmen interrupts.
Make sure you trust those you bring with you, and be prepared as best as you can. We can't know how this will play out.
First things first, I'd like something full-time eventually so I can get more competitive. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I totally, gamer, I get exactly what you're going through. That's what I'm going through myself. And the other matter is, it's not just like, oh, minimum wage, entry-level part-time jobs. It's also the fact, as adults, insurance has to become a factor at some point, and that is a very big problem, especially with like the Medicaid cuts that are currently on the docket of being voted on. And it's very scary because people losing their Medicaid benefits, it's very scary. And because like I'm on Medicaid, because I'm not a part of anything that gives me health insurance, which means that one, I don't have as much coverage across different places, and two, anytime I can get looked at, I could potentially get charged more because the copay is more. I think I must have told this story before, but if I haven't, here's a fun little story. When I turned 26, like about a few days after, I got this splitting headache that turned out to be a case of tonsillitis, and I had to get taken to the emergency room for them to look at me. And they figured out it was tonsillitis just from taking a look at me, examining my headache and how it was all going, and the low fever I was running. And shortly after that was done, I got charged $230 for an antibiotic and a painkiller. And we also had, the insurance that I had wasn't going to cover my prescription that the doctor had given me to, take care of the infection, the antibiotics I needed. So, yeah, that's never fun either. So that's the other reason why I've been trying to find full-time work, is that I also want insurance so that I can, get better insurance coverage, because unfortunately it's not even just health, it's also dental and vision. So if I needed a prescription update for my glasses, I'd need to get insurance for that. If I need to get a dental cleaning, I need to get insurance for that. And that's not even factoring things of like home insurance or what have you, but I think that's a completely separate can of worms. Gotta love it. Yeah. But yeah, I get exactly what you're going through, because it's very similar to what my situation is. Like, I love my folks, but at some point I'd love to be able to move out and have, and have a space. But housing market's pretty bad right now. Like, it's bad everywhere. So I get it. I really, really do. You nod. You'll get one shot at this.
Then we are ready.
Carmen takes a breath.
I have my own plans. I have my own way of getting on dark side. But here,
he pauses. He passes you a small strip of plastic stamped with numbers.
My private frequency. When you are on approach to dark side, message me here and I will sync up my transmit. Or my transit, transit.
Transmit? Transit. He points at the transponder in Seraphin's hand.
Just make sure to install that first.
Seraphin nods. We've got it. He sighs, the weight of the task ahead suddenly very apparent. I suppose that's it. Carmen gives you both a serious look.
It is.
He smiles.
Don't leave me waiting long. There will be more time when all this is over. Time where you don't have to keep looking over your shoulder, I hope.
I don't know why that got held. Oh yeah, the summer Steam sale. Yeah, I mean, as I said, there are games that I'm looking to get, but I'm saving what I can, but I'm not particularly I'm not too concerned about saving at this time, because as it is currently, everything's okay in my household. And, as I said, I have a convention trip coming up, and what happens at cons? People spend a fuck ton of money on a lot of really cool stuff. So I'm gonna be getting a lot of really cool stuff and autographs. So, yeah. But I have a decent pillow of savings. I'm just a nice cushioning of savings, as it were. It's just, currently as it stands, people aren't making enough to be able to live as it is, unless you have lucked into a really good position. It's... shit sucks. You leave Carmen in the back of the wheat sheaf, Flint sliding open the door as you leave. It takes the entire journey back to the ship for your nerves to settle. The end of this ordeal is so close, and yet it feels like an impossible leap to get there. Perhaps in a handful of cycles you will know how impossible or possible it is. So, how are you feeling about this Solheim protocol in your head? Seraphin doesn't look up from installing the transponder, a set of wires and cables waving loosely around him in the low light of the cockpit. Overseer's okay, because the deal is that we got a permanent glitch damage when we were on Darkside because we were starving and I technically died. I just got brought back. And then Overseer was kind enough to be like, hey, we have unlocked a new protocol in ourselves and we can repair you. So they repaired a permanent damage on me, which was a crazy thing to have happen. So yeah, I'd like to help them help it since it helped us. Overseer's okay. Glad to hear it. Although you have to forgive me for being a bit concerned. He begins unscrewing a panel beneath the flight console. Maybe you could have mentioned it earlier. Seraphin clips his magnetic screwdriver to the side of the console's base and turns to face you, dusting off his hands. I've understood for a while now, Sleeper, that there are things you experience that I can't even come close to knowing how they feel. But that doesn't mean I don't understand you as a person. Seraphin gives you a concerned look. I know you are secretive, defensive, and I know there are reasons for that. I also know you are warm and kind and generous to those on this ship with you. Seraphin pauses, collecting his thoughts. I trust you, Sleeper, and I won't question this. But please, hold on to what's human in you, because that is what I'm holding on to. Seraphin stops, his eyes a little wild, his tone a little unsure. Then he finds himself again, settles his emotions, and turns back to the transponder. Right, that's it. He twists something beneath the console. Spoof transponder is in. There's nothing keeping us out of Darkside. You exchange a look. Say the word when you want to go. This game's gonna end very sad, and this game's gonna have like a sad ending, isn't it? Okay, so Chief Greenbelt. All right. Well, I don't see a quest that's different. But yeah, regarding the summer Steam sales stuff, I've got a number of games on my wish list that I would definitely be into getting at some point. Because usually I set like a budget for myself when it comes to Steam sales or game sales in general. So I'll set a budget, and actually, when is the summer Steam sale? When is that? When is it? It is on June 26th. And it'll probably go for like a week. July 10th. So, yeah, roughly a week. All right. So, yeah, mark your calendars, people. All right, so I think we're pretty much set. Darkside we go. Okay, here's the hard one. Who do we take with us? I want to take Cadet, because she's got something on Darkside with the Hexport incident. Hold on. Hold on now. Back. I want to check something. So, stat-wise, I want to bring a character with Intuit, if I can help it, because to cover my weakness on that. And I think we're, yeah. I think that's the plan. All right, we'll go with Nia and Cadet. Or maybe Bliss and Cadet. Nia's got a modifier into it, so I think, yeah. Bliss, they've only got They don't, but they have engine. Well, I've got good engineer and a modifier to it. Yeah, I think Nia and Cadet will be the way to go. All right, let's do this. All right, Sleeper. You want to do the honors? Seraphin is strapped into the pilot seat, guiding the rig towards Darkside. You take the strip of plastic Carmen gave you and copy the frequency into the comms window of the console. You type a simple message. Heading in, good luck. The console chimes, the message is sent. You hope Carmen is in range to receive it. You search inside your mind, wanting to find Overseer there, but you feel no presence. You hope they will be ready when called for. You look ahead out of the cockpit towards the distant glimmer of Darkside. Time to take on Lane. When Seraphin finally brings the rig into the Sunward docks, everyone in the cockpit lets out a sigh of relief. The approach was simple, routine even. Checking in with the port administration, being assigned to dock, bringing the rig to a stop, all of it familiar, but all of it laced with the tension of knowing that at any point it could all go very wrong. The spoof transponder worked. Seraphin shakes his head. So at least we know Carmen's as good as his word. Was there any doubt? Well, Seraphin shrugs. I've gotten used to things not going to plan by now. He shuts down the engine and unclips from his seat. But I guess there's still plenty of time for that. We can't get double-crossed on the same station twice, right? Nia unclips from her seat. That would just be embarrassing. This place may have kicked our asses last time, but this time I'm ready. Cadet stretches. Carmen's the big unknown. But if you trust him, I do too. You try to imagine Carmen somewhere on Darkside, perhaps smuggling himself aboard a freighter, or among the crew of a trusted ally. You hope he is as confident as he seems about finding Ankita. We need to spend less time worrying about what Carmen has to do and more about what's ahead of us. Seraphin turns to you. The old facility, Happeb, was it? I'm guessing that's deep below all this. Seraphin gestures towards the vast accumulation that is Darkside, a city that grew on the back of the Happeb solar cell layer by layer. Yeah, solar cells layer by layer. Its chaotic structure is neither planned nor regulated, but the foundation it is built on should be as formal as any corporate facility. That means we need a path down into this foundation, and I suggest we don't just take the first one we find. Seraphin continues. We scope the area out, carefully, quietly. Look for the right path into the heart of this place. Shouldn't we wait for word from Carmen? Carmen will be in touch. I'll be here when he is. He nods towards the console. The comms window is still open from when you sent the message. Let's just get out there. I'm ready for payback. Nia grins. Seraphin nods. I'll hold the rig down. We don't want you losing your exit route, like last time. He winks. Here. He hands you a comms earpiece. I salvaged this from a suit helmet. It isn't secure, but as long as Utsubo don't know we're here, it should be fine. I'll let you know as soon as I hear from Carmen. He meets your eye. Get this done, Sleeper. You nod. This is what it all comes down to. All right. Okay, what are our modifiers? Oh, Nia. Oh, Cadet, your dice. Oh. Okay. My dice aren't, well, they're okay. Do this. Nia can get a 4 on here. Okay, she took a tad bit of stress, but that's okay. Okay. Little stress, but that's fine. We've got 5 supplies worth, or 5 cycles worth of supplies, so we should be okay. All right. A 5 and a 1? What the fuck? Now what in the Sam hell is the... Now what in the Sam hell are these rolls? Okay, and then we can get another 6. All right. Holy shit, Darkside's huge. Okay, so I have to get all 3 of these. Yeah. And then Cadet. You can go on this. There we go. And a positive. That's what we love to fucking see. Please get a neutral, please get a neutral, please get a neutral, please get a neutral, please get a neutral. Fuck. Might as well use the bad dice here. Please get a neutral, please get a neutral, please get a neutral, please get a neutral. Cadet, I could fucking hug you. I could give you a gigantic hug right now. As you are gliding down a dark tunnel, descending deeper below Darkside, your earpiece begins hissing with static. Sleeper? Seraphine's voice sounds distant, faint. Carmen, contact. Meet with target. You strain to hear the rest of the message, but the static overpowers his voice. You stop and push the earpiece in deeper. Continue. Stay safe. The line goes dead. Sounds good. Carmen's got it covered. Neo looks back over her shoulder. The rest is on us. You continue your descent down, ducking under thick cables and collapsed beams. The busy urban life of the city above seems far away now, hidden from your senses. Its rumble and brightness has been replaced by the cloyed dark and a growing oppressive heat. Darkside, and the HabPep facility it was built on, has been running unrestrained ever since the collapse, gathering huge volumes of energy, more than its residents could ever use. You feel like you can sense it in the walls, running like a torrent just behind the thin skin of metal and rubber. A large portion of the vast amount of current running through the station is radiated into the void as heat, making Darkside a typically humid station. But down here, that heat is drier and more intense, and sections of walls glow with a fiery intensity. The tunnel levels out and light blasts through the shutter-stripped viewing windows on either side, illuminating the passage in strips of burning white. Through the gaps you can see a labyrinth of walkways and scaffolding tucked into the margins of the vast solar cells. The heat washes across your vinyl skin, making you tense against it. The underside of Darkside must be crossed. I love the world building of this, because yeah, we're essentially on a gigantic solar panel. That's what this city is based on. Or built on, rather. Just a big old solar panel. Okay. Oh, but Intuit's not very good here, so Nia has no benefits here. Got that in just 1 cycle, so that's good. Only used up 1 supply. 2 and a 4 and a 4 and a 2. Oh. Oh, and I'm the only one with good. Oh. Oh no. Well, it's fine. The modifiers are huge on this, so that's good, but not the greatest outcome. Even since I'm also getting stress. All right. If I can just get another positive, that'd be huge. That's huge. In your exploration of the HabPep facility, you have seen, through viewing windows and shutter slates, a huge blister projecting out among the hex-shaped cells. You have approached it, circled it, and now you find yourself passing into it, through layer after layer of broken, corroded safety doors. Even if you had not felt Overseer stirring, you would know this is the mainframe, but you have felt the protocol's presence, restlessly turning over in your mind like a sleeping animal, occasionally probing your senses, tracking your progress. We feel at home. Overseer's multiple bodies stretch out their arms as if basking in sunlight. The systems, the networks, signals, they are fractured and weak, but we know them. Each of the broken heads shares part of a smile. They are welcoming us. Sleeper! Nia shakes you awake. We're here. She gives you a concerned look. Don't go bugging out on us now. You look around, suddenly aware that you have drifted somewhere you do not recognize, in a state you are not in control of. The spherical chamber you float within has a mezzanine? Yeah, mezzanine set around its circumference. The floor and metal grating you see through. On this mezzanine are banks and banks of terminals, thick gathered cables snaking away from them across the floor. All of it bakes in the heat of the vast resistors. You follow those cables with your eyes. They lead to a cylindrical column coming down from the apex of the chamber. It is corroded and bent a little, with very few of its thousands of lights still flickering. Even in its decayed state, you know immediately, this is the mainframe. You feel a yearning towards it, one you know comes from Overseer. But as you look around for a connection point, all you see are burnt-out cables, rusted sockets, and broken terminals. The glow of warmth makes you feel woozy. You need to work quickly to bring this back online, before the current flowing through this place bakes you in the metal of the wire, into the metal of its walls. So yeah, we are quite literally getting baked. Didn't mean to hit that. Did not mean to click that. Start. Okay, good. Yeah, it does not have the stats for this. I did not pick the correct people. Well, Cadet's good. Oh no, she's out. Yeah. I should have brought Bliss, not Sleeper, Bliss. Or I could have brought a Flint. I did. It's hard to know. It's hard to plan ahead when you don't know what kind of things you need to roll for. Yeah, Nia's out. She has a low level of stress. Oh, and now I get fantastic rolls. Cool. All right. Well, lesson learned on this. The column of the mainframe pulses with fractured lights, a scattered wave of systems awakening, accompanied by the whine and stutter of the machines all around. Looks like it's starting up. Nia looks nervously around the room, now shaking and shimmering with energy. All this stuff is very much above my pay grade, she cringes. You reach out for the primed connector and with your other hand touch the socket at the base of your synthetic skull. As you do, a sharp shock runs through your fingers. For a moment, it feels like your vision doubles. But as you pull the connector and its cables across your vision, you see it is only your body that is doubling. The connector, a stable object with your arm, leaves ghostly imprints through the air. You wave it back and forth, but the multiplied arms do not follow. Each instead takes on a life of its own, grabbing around your forearm and wrist, taking control of your arm. You feel their force as they push your arm across your body, over your shoulder. They push once more and the connector finds its home in the socket. That familiar flow, but stronger, rushing, rapid. Then a figure. No, 3 figures, descending into it. A swimmer stepping into a river, a sleeper drifting out of an airlock, a symbol being subsumed into a sign. And you, little more than a witness. A marionette, its strings outstretched, mapped hand to hand, leg to leg, to another. The flow freezes, the three figures almost overlapping, almost complete, but not quite. Their tripled eyes look back at you in horror. The voice shrill, silent in your head. There's someone else in here. Heat glazing your thick vinyl skin, the mainframe a whirring chaos of light and sound. A brightness, and then it fades. The light shutting off, the servers powering down, a single blinking light, the only thing left on the dark column. Keeping time like a metronome. What just happened? Neil looks at the dark column of the mainframe. Did we just break it? You close your eyes and try to recall the events that happened when you connected, playing them back in greater detail. Overseer was there, entering the mainframe, but something froze the system, locked them in place. What did they say? Someone there with them? You open your eyes. Was this a trap? Someone has trapped Overseer. As you speak, a fizzling static fills one ear. You flinch, thinking it is some new invasion of your system, but then you hear Seraphim through the haze. Sleeper, come now. Waiting, the rig. It's no use. You'll have to ascend to find out what's going on topside. You look at the mainframe with its single blinking light still keeping time. It looks like Overseer will have to wait. Trapped in the mainframe, Overseer is still the key to all of this. You hope you can get the protocol out, but you need to hear what Seraphim has to say first. You make your way out of the core, ascending back through the layers of HAPEB back into the docks. Seraphim meets you at the docking tunnel. They're waiting inside. He shakes his head and nods towards the airlock. Come on. I'm gonna drink a little water real quick, because holy shit. A lot of reading. Enjoying myself, but a lot of reading. You cross onto the ship in silence and find Carmen in the cockpit, looking out at Darkside as it sprawls across the stars.
Sleeper, Carmen turns. Sorry to pull you away, but you need to know what's coming.
What's going on? This idiot blew my cover. You turn as Ankita enters the cockpit behind you and Seraphim. You immediately clock the fresh bandaged sleeve around her right forearm.
I think you did a pretty good job of that yourself.
Carmen retorts. You see a twinkle in his eye that suggests this back and forth is a well-practiced part of their relationship. Perhaps, but we'll never know now, not after you intervene to rescue me. Her hand goes to her bandaged arm almost instinctively. Could someone explain what happened?
I passed the data to Ankita and she tried to broach it with Utsubo.
Carmen folds his arms.
But Lane was more paranoid than we expected. He was listening in.
Either that or his lapdog Daichi ratted us out. She shakes her head. I'd have put him down if he hadn't gotten the jump on me.
Either way, Carmen cuts back in calmly. I had to pull Ankita out.
Carmen turns back to look over at Darkside.
The information did get through though, and now Utsubo is in crisis as its members side with or against Lane.
Meanwhile, Daichi is hunting us. Ankita screws up her face, which means we need to be careful. That's why I called you in. Seraphim puts a hand on your shoulder. You need to watch your back.
Indeed.
Carmen turns to face you.
But how about the mainframe? Have you been successful?
You explain the events of the cycle, the mainframe booting up, the successful connection, and then Overseer being locked inside, frozen by some other force. You mention their warning. There's someone else in here. Carmen nods thoughtfully.
Unfortunately, we need that mainframe more than ever. With Ankita out of Utsubo, we have to get the word out.
Carmen's right. Utsubo will be distracted by these revelations, but it won't last. Without further proof, they'll all be lined up behind Lane in time. We have to free Overseer.
We need the mainframe. Overseer is just our access tool.
If your protocol is being locked in by some counter-protocol or agent, I wouldn't be surprised if it can be tracked back to Utsubo. Ankita looks at Carmen. I know the locations of a few of Utsubo network nodes. We should hit them first.
No, we need to stay under the radar. Sleeper and their crew will investigate the nodes, quietly.
Carmen nods at you.
You and I will run interference. Keep Utsubo away from these locations as best we can.
What if we don't find anything? Utsubo uses the hardline network of the old facility. If it isn't them locking down the mainframe, it's someone using that infrastructure. You think of the feeling of stasis you felt when Overseer was trapped, and the power required to halt the flow of a mainframe as vast and ingrown as HAPEB 1. As the HAPEB 1. Could it be just an Utsubo hacker? You doubt it. Seems we have a plan. Seraphin looks between you all.
That we do, and we'll need you to keep running comms between us.
Carmen turns to you.
Sleeper, Ankita will give you locations to dig into, but keep it quiet. Daichi is out there, and he isn't as easily avoided as some low-ranking enforcer.
Ankita slaps the top of a couple of crates of supplies you hadn't noticed before. Consider these a parting gift from my tenure at Utsubo. Swipe them from a gang storehouse. She grins. Thought you might need a resupply.
All right,
Carmen addresses the room.
keep quiet and keep in touch. We can still pull this off.
Okay, crisis event. Oh god, and Nia's still out of commission on this. Shit. All right, let's do this. And then Cadet's not gonna. I might have picked bad on this. Uh-oh. I have not chosen wisely, chat. Okay. Yep. And because I'm getting stressed, I'm losing my dice. Shit. There. And then we can fill this one out at least. Get that done. Okay.
I don't believe it.
Carmen stares through the shutters of the viewing window at a smooth, squat ship tucked into the derelict bay between the hexes.
How long has it been here?
When the nodes were hacked and the trace established, you imagine it might lead to an Utsubo operator. Or perhaps an old subnode containing an aggressive Solheim protocol, gone mad with isolation. Not this. Never this. A Senate stat ship tucked into the belly of Darkseid like a parasite. We need to move on that ship now. Ankita is already adjusting her gear, preparing for an assault. We hit an Utsubo safe house for weaponry. There's one. Carmen holds up a hand.
This is a gift, Ankita. Don't be so brash.
He turns back to face the both of you.
All we had to do now was data, conversation. All we had until now was data, conversations. Evidence easily denied or destroyed by Lane. But Senate stat ships hidden inside the station? Or but a Senate stat ship hidden inside the station?
Carmen nods grimly.
There are hundreds of crews, thousands of residents who would give everything to protect Darkseid from the war.
Carmen turns back to the ship, silhouetted against the starlight.
All we need to do is point them in the right direction.
We turn Darkseid on the ship.
And on Lane at the same time.
Carmen nods grimly.
We leak it all, send it out through the mainframe, the ship's location, the evidence of Lane's betrayal, all of it.
You're forgetting one thing, Ankita interrupts. That the ship leaves or is taken. Until that ship leaves or is taken, they still have the mainframe locked down. We can't blast out its location through the network without taking it on first. Carmen pauses, considering his options. You look out at the Senate stat ship. half concealed in the bay. It looks sleek, dangerous. What defenses might a ship like that deploy when threatened? Carmen and Ankita exchange looks. Then we attack first. Carmen and I will distract the ship's occupants, turn their focus away from the mainframe. Then you, Sleeper, hit the mainframe and force them out.
As soon as Overseer is released, you send out everything. Once it hits the network, our backup will come.
He gives Ankita a grim look.
We only have to hold them off for as long as it takes for other crews to realize what is happening.
The plan feels desperate, and you know that Carmen and Ankita think so too. Will Darkseid really mobilize against the ships so quickly? Two old mercs against an unknown Senate stat force feels like an unwinnable battle. We know the stakes, Sleeper. Ankita takes a deep breath. We can handle them. Ankita frowns, an unpleasant thought passing through her mind. I have given up everything to get Utsubo out. Let me finish the job. But why? Ankita sighs. If we make it to the other side of this thing, I promise to tell you. Ankita folds her arms across her chest. Go to the mainframe and get set up. When you are ready to connect, let us know.
Carmen puts a hand on your shoulder. Once you start, don't stop for anything. Get the data out.
He meets your eye.
We will handle ourselves.
You turn and glide away, looking over your shoulder at the two ex-mercenaries as they discuss their plan of attack. Seeing them slip back into those old roles, you can't help but wonder, does anyone ever outrun their past? Or is it always waiting there in the dark to claim you in the end? All right. So back here, but well, we could have a cadet at least roll. Good. Okay, then we rest. End cycle. Explore. Okay. There we go. The heat inside the HAPEP core is intense as you stare at the column of the mainframe, its one blinking light still keeping time. It's up. Nia wipes sweat from her forehead. Do your thing. You look around the ragged bay. Time to give Carmen the go-ahead. You glance at Ankita's thumbnail drive, now slotted into the mainframe terminal, containing a data packet with everything you need to unseat Lane and reveal the Senate stat ship. You hope it will be enough. You hold a finger to your earpiece and let Seraphin know to relay the message through to Carmen. All right, Seraphin's voice is heavy with worry. I'll tell them. A long pause. Be safe, Sleeper. Get this done and come back. I will. Good luck, friend. The comms click off as Seraphin switches to Carmen's channel. You wait, imagining the conversation. The terse words activating the plan. You wait, long enough for Carmen and Ankita to nod to each other, long enough for them to drop down through the bays in silence, to check the weapons they stole from Utsubo, to take their positions, and then to make their move. You grab the connector and hold it behind your head, close to your access port. You silently count to 3, and then connect. At first, nothing has changed. You drop into a state of stasis, a small, dark space with no cracks. The mainframe is locked down, shut off, squeezed inside the grip of some clenched fist. Then you see it, a trickle of light, a flicker of threads. Overseer flows into the space, and the torrent begins to run. The rushing gray pulse of data, the connective threads, the jewel of the mainframe. They grow inside the space, and the space in turn grows. We see you there, Sleeper. Overseer separates and reforms within the expanding landscape. Who is this other? An enemy. Overseer's 3 heads nod. They will do what is necessary. Then we will do what is necessary. Overseer explodes. The points and lines of light that described its human forms separate and multiply, constellations bursting outward like a tree of stars. Overseer becomes plural. As they do, the darkness is pushed back and the extent of the mainframe is revealed. It is a stack of jeweled surfaces, each revealing more facets and the angles changes. And the angle changes, or more facets as the angle changes. Sorry. Sentences. From these facets, threads project, cutting out across Darkside, the paths that stretch the lengths of the entire station. Their arrangement is an invitation. You accept their invitation, sending yourself skimming through the lines of light, seeing how the stations connect and hums with the flow of data. You see the highest tower, the lowest hex, and then the origin of the dark. A squiggle of black wrestles around a single point, the Senate Stat ship, now a battleground. You see flashes and flickers as Overseer dances around it and cuts at it. But looking around, you see Overseers everywhere now, multiplied into 1,000 forms, reunited with a system designed to serve them. They dissolve into it. You suddenly remember what needs to happen, what you need them to do. Also, ad break starting in 5 minutes, heads up. You send out separate requests, summoning Overseer, reminding them of your agreement. You take the bright polygon of the data packet and present it like an offering to Overseer, who is diffuse, crackling all around you, euphoric in their reconstitution as a functional protocol. You receive no response. There's nothing more than a whisper, snatched away on the flow of data rushing by. And then you hear the static in your earpiece. Seraphine's desperate cry for a response. You see a bright point suddenly close, inside the core with you. A broadcast going out from it like a beam from a lighthouse. You reach back and pull on the connector, just to clear the brightness from your eyes, just to block the broadcast. I found you. Lane floats in the mainframe, sweat across his brow, his eyes steely cold. I finally found you. Nia slams into Lane, swinging her fists. You freeze, watching Lane fight back, hearing Seraphine's voice shimmering in your earpiece, passing on Carmen's desperate request for aid. Cadet and Nia are both with me. Reconnect to the mainframe. You grasp for the connector and then drive it home. You are in the constellation of Darkside's network. The exploded body of Overseer stretched across it as if it has been anatomized. Lane is still a beacon, one that flashes close, but you do your best to ignore it and reach out to Overseer once more. Remember me, Protocol, you say. Remember your promise. Something begins to form, begins to flicker. As it does, you hear something outside the network. The bright crackle of an electrical discharge, the grunt of pain and impact, then silence again. The brightness grows, it draws closer, and the blinding white blanks out everything. You open your eyes to a smile like knives. Behind Lane's pale head, the body of a friend floats stunned in the dark. The fingers of Lane's carrier signal reaches inside your mind. You are boxed into the viewing window behind your eyes, a passenger in your own body. Lane is in control. Oh, it's so much easier now that I am prepared. It's almost a seamless switch. Lane's face is in your vision, but his mouth does not move. And the duality of it, like a mirror turned to face itself. In perfect unison, you and Lane lift your hands in front of your face and turn them, inspecting them. You feel sickened, a flare of panic going off in your mind. Look at this. Lane opens and closes your fists with a motion like a wave that runs finger to finger. There are improvements to be made, but this is remarkable. Lane's eyes look into your eyes, a perfect loop. I always knew your body was a gift, Sleeper, from the moment I first saw you. A gift you could not recognize because you only saw a burden, something to be escaped from. But I saw what it was. Lane's eyes flash. An opportunity. Like a puppet, you are turned to face the mainframe. You glide forward a little, hands reaching for the access terminal. Ankita's drive glints there in its slot. You control none of this. Lane's voice. Imagine having more than one body. More than one agent in the world to do your bidding. Your hand reaches down, finger and thumb pinching delicately around the drive. It's a thrilling thought, and one I have harbored for a long time. With a short, sharp motion, you pull the drive free. Then I saw you, my sleeper, and I knew I must have you. You hear Seraphine's voice in your ear. Sleeper? Carmen needs that signal to go out now. There's panic in his voice. They can't hold out any longer. No matter how hard you try, your lips do not move. No words can be produced. You feel your hand under Lane's control reach up and pull the earpiece out, letting it float away into the chamber. Enough distractions. Your other hand holds up Ankita's drive, turning it in the light in front of your eyes. Well, ad break's about to start, and I do actually need to get water, so we'll continue this after the ad break. BRB, everybody. Get water. Stretch. And we're back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Okay, let's see what happens. So, oh god, the drive's out and Lane's got us. Fuck! Should I have attacked him? No, because then he could still have taken over my body. Shit! Some time ago, I set myself the task of challenging you from a hollow thing into a vessel, or not challenging, changing you from a hollow vessel into a vessel, or from a hollow thing into a... Take two, trying that again. Some time ago, I set myself the task of changing you from a hollow thing into a vessel to be filled. Your finger and thumb transfer the drive to your palm, and now I am able, with the help of my allies, to fill you up. I am more than singular now, more than flesh and blood, more than you in my ambition, in my desire. And that means you are surplus to me now. Your fist closes hard around the drive, crushing it into dust. Weak and broken thing, your time is over. Lane's other body approaches you and lays its hand on either side of your head. You feel the pressure. You cannot move. You cannot resist. And then a spark, as one of Lane's fingers slips and depresses a little into the access port on your head. There is a flicker, the flash of something passing through the spaces between. Something writing a signal back to its broadcaster. We have not forgotten, you hear Overseer. They are reconstituted. We are ready to act as one. Overseer holds the bright data packet in a single hand. We were broken, we were many, but now we are whole, and we appreciate what you have done. Overseer shapes the data packet into a point, a bright spear of light. The spear extends through your mind gently, harming nothing of you. Instead, its point finds the mind of the other, of Lane, and pierces it directly. You hear Lane scream as his implants burn in his skull, his head flaring bright white in the clouds. And then, when that mind has gone dark and the pressure on the sides of your head has receded, the packet explodes across the network, white hot and urgent. In its wake, data points are seeded, conversations, coordinates, a conspiracy. At the furthest point of the network, its distant edge, the data packet arrives with little more force than a notification, delivered to every device and terminal within its range. It's an Amber Alert, so it's like a really loud Amber Alert. But here, at the epicenter, it blasts through you with such power that for a moment, every thought, every idea, every piece that might make a self is whipped cleanly from your mind, or is wiped cleanly from your mind. All right, I'm gonna drink some water, then I'll continue. So that's it. So Lane got caught on fire because the implants on his head that were controlling us got obliterated. It takes a long time to put a person back together. A long time in the dark, picking up fragments of what once was a whole, or what was once whole. Like waking from sleep, you can never be sure what piece might have gone missing in the reconstitution. Or the reconstruction. Well, both. Either. Whichever word works. What might have been lost. But you continue anyway, through hazy cycles of faces and distant voices. This is, after all, not the first time you have had to remake yourself, and you imagine it will not be the last. You're up. Seraphin finds you looking out of the lone window in the rig's berths, a slit that stares out across the shattered edge of Darkside. How long was I out? Seraphin gives you half a grin. Best not think about it. He turns away for a second. Long enough. Suddenly, Seraphin crosses the bunks and embraces you. He squeezes you once and then backs off, hands on both of your shoulders. Good to see you up, he smiles. As always. Come on, we need to go find Bliss. Seraphin leads you out of the bunks through the ship and down the docking tunnel onto Darkside. As you glide through the docks, he recounts what's been happening over these past cycles. You weren't the only one to take a beating. He squeezes through a group of cargo porters carrying crates. Ankita and Carmen held out against the Senate Stat ship long enough, but they aren't without their share of injuries. They're back on their feet now, though, working together. They've managed to quiet down some of the remnants of Utsubo, stop the factional infighting. They're clearing out one of Utsubo's safe houses over in the Rise. Or so they could use the help if you need something to do. Marco is here too, though I haven't seen him yet. Seraphin looks away. Hankita pulled him out of an Utsubo cell. They're working together. I should go see him, but... Seraphin sighs. You feel like he hasn't quite accepted Marco's reappearance. You aren't sure how you'd react to see him again either. Oh, and Carmen isn't sticking around. He's already left for Oliveira. Seraphin pauses for a second, a memory of that place coming back to him. You watch him shake the thought away. Junie, meanwhile, is still digging into that data she pulled from the bunker. She's down in the HAPEB core most cycles, trying to make sense of it. Anyway, you'll soon catch up on everything. He smiles sympathetically, but there's something behind his look. You can't quite place it. The two of you continue on in silence, drifting into the depths of Darkside. Good friends, side by side. Seraphin leads you down into a passage lined with bright screens and signs, sound and light blasting out of the shop fronts on either side. You know this place, Flicker Row. He stops outside a familiar door, the shop you woke up in all those cycles ago. He gives the door a few quick raps with his knuckles. You wait. Hey, Sleeper. He shoots you a glance. When you are ready, we should talk about the future. What comes next, all that. Whenever you like. Thanks. I'll let you know. Seraphin looks away. Sleeper? Bliss opens the door and immediately jumps to hug you. They let go sheepishly and look between you and Seraphin. First day up, I thought you'd both be celebrating your freedom. Don't want to overdo it. Seraphin shakes his head. Plus, there's more important stuff to talk about. His eyes shoot into the shop beyond. Bliss's voice drops. You sure, Seraphin? They just got up. Can it wait a cycle? Seraphin looks at you. They should know, Bliss. It's important. They nod hesitantly, and then turn back to the shop, letting you come inside. Little has changed since you were last there. The stacks of servers, the refurbished hardware secured in the roof and wall netting, the connectors, including the one that facilitated your reboot. Bliss and Seraphin now follow behind quietly. The atmosphere is immediately ominous. I'm gonna drink a little more water. I also kind of scalded my mouth with coffee this morning, so that didn't help either. I've been keeping an eye on you these past cycles. Bliss hooks their legs onto a stool by a counter, making sure you were stable. Your frame, I'm sure you know, has been through a lot. And when Overseer pushed Lane out, well, things got more complicated. All those changes Lane made to your system, he did it through your stabilizer. He laced it with proteins meant to alter your frame's basic function, to accept other emulations, other minds, to open you up to remote access. Yeah. Fucking hell. What Overseer did was correct some of that, or at least wipe it from your system. But the stress involved and the damage from your last partial reboot. Bliss falls silent, unable to answer their own question. We need to finish the reboot, Sleeper. The one Lane interrupted. Seraphin can always be relied on to tell you things straight. Not immediately, Bliss cuts in, but at some point soon. I'm not quite ready, but now that you're up, Bliss looks down. I'll get to work. How can I prepare? Bliss takes a deep breath. Look, I'll be honest, Sleeper. I know we need to finish the reboot Lane interrupted, and I'm sure of it, but the effects... They shake their head. Your frame was complex to begin with, but after everything, the reaction could be... bad. We can talk more about it when I have the, Bliss stops suddenly, their eyes shooting to the door. Sorry, am I... Flint floats in the doorway. They look at you, wide-eyed. You're up. A smile crosses their face, though it quickly fades. Good to see you. Really good. How are you doing, Flint? Good. They glance at Bliss, smiling. Mostly thanks to Bliss. They've been taking care of me. Bliss smiles back. Flint has become my patient, too. Bliss clasps their hands nervously together. We've been able to acquire some stabilizer from Lane stores, which has helped, but we don't have much of a supply. Bliss is going to reboot me, like you were. Flint cuts in. I won't need stabilizer anymore. They sound almost excited at the prospect. You look to Bliss. Flint knows the risks, but they have asked for the procedure. They give Flint a warning look. They still shouldn't underestimate the danger. Bliss looks at Flint. Sleeper will also need to reboot, but they don't have a choice in the matter. It is essential. Flint goes quiet. Bliss and Seraphin look nervously at you to see your reaction to all this. You feel like a spotlight is being shown in your face. All you want is some time alone to think. We should do it together. Flint speaks quietly. Whatever we risk it together. They meet your eye. I owe you that much, and more. Let's pick this up again in the future. Bliss tries to calm the tension. I still need many cycles to prepare, especially if I'm to reboot you both simultaneously. It will be your choice, Sleeper. You decide when. They reach out and lay a hand on yours. But without this, you will soon begin a decline. I am sorry for that. Your head spins. Seraphin slaps a button to open the door. Come on, Sleeper. Let's get some air. You follow him outside, but when you get there, all you can think is that you can't breathe. You don't need to breathe. A wave of claustrophobia passes over you. You are in control of this, Sleeper. Seraphin stares at the lights and signs of Flicker Row, looping endlessly. You put what you need in order, and I'll be right there with you. I got Bliss to teach me a little about repairs, and they've been doing for you. About the repairs they've been doing for you. Seraphin rubs his hands together. I know it's getting worse, but I'll do my best to keep you running. You let me know when you want to leave, and I will fly you out of this place faster than you can believe. He turns to face you. And we can go wherever you need. He frowns. There's time for us yet. Thank you. You never need to thank me, Sleeper. He pats you on the shoulder. Just look after yourself. I was also thinking... Seraphin looks away. I got a message from Olivera. They're still getting the place together, but with Carmen heading back, the colony is starting a new chapter. Maybe we should head out there at some point. Lend a hand. He pauses, unwilling to push it further. Just a thought. Anyway, just give the word. Seraphin smiles. We're all glad you're back. He turns and drifts away, leaving you among the cycling colors and cacophonous sounds of Flicker Row. You close your eyes and let them wash over you like a wave. There, in the dark of your mind, you search for Overseer, but the protocol does not appear. You wonder if, in that final moment, Overseer might have destroyed themselves to end Lane. But then you feel it. A flickering nearby. A signal in the dark. You open your eyes and see something pass through the screens of Flicker Row. A shadow in all the brightness. Could Overseer still be here? In the ancient networks of the Habpeb? You turn away and glide out of the row. You have other things to worry about now. All right, now Cadet Steel. How are you doing? Cadet finds you in a dark side thoroughfare, a glass-roofed canyon of struts and screens. Still recovering. Hey, I get it. Cadet smiles. But look where we are. She gestures around at the broad street, with its layers of tech and dirt. Heart of the belt. You look, really look, at the glass-roofed street. Its walls are built from scaffold and shipping containers, hull plates, and Solheim Hab units. So people glide across the open space to units and shops on either side, and everywhere screens flicker and glare without sense and reason. You can feel the heat, the power that flows through this place, collected by the vast solar cells that form the city's foundations. Hard is the right word. This place is a center of circulation, toned muscle tough and running to a beat. You turn to Cadet and see it in her eyes. She loves being here. I've been thinking, she glances away, of how good it would feel to run my air bike down this street. She smiles. The city has to need couriers, right? That's a good idea. I know, she flexes her shoulders back. But there's some unfinished business weighing me down. She meets your eye. Hexport. So yeah, to catch the speed up on Cadet's deal, she was set to deliver a drive that contained data on why Hexport had gotten completely destroyed. And because she didn't turn in that data when she noticed that the person she was delivering it to got hit, I don't remember the exact thing, but something bad happened, and she kept the data, and then a bounty was put on her. So she went, okay, well, we got to figure out what's going on. We figured it out to an extent. I think we got the bounty off of her, and she was like, okay, well, we got to figure out what's going on with this stuff, and it's in Dark Side. So here we are. You think of the drive tucked away in the scatter yards, the one that contains the data stream from a drone mine vivisection, the one that might have caused the loss of an entire station. We need to go finish what we started. Cadet looks deadly serious. Find who is responsible and make it known. Clear my name. Okay, so her name's not cleared. Never mind. Is Hexport still irradiated? I would think so, she sighs. But it'll be fading. We can get in and out safely from what I know. And we better try soon, because the safer it gets, the more scavengers will come to pick the bones. We want there to be something left to tell the story. I know a lot just went down. Cadet puts a hand on her hip. But these clowns could still be operating. Hell, they could be trying the same thing again on this station. We need to find what they did. She takes a deep breath. I'll be waiting. And maybe, once it's all done, she turns away. I'll let you take the first airbike ride through this place. She raises a hand and then is gone. She's so cool. She's so cool. Okay. Okay, so Junie's got her thing here. Okay, so maybe we aren't at the finale. I remembered also that we have Yujin still. Yeah, Bliss is preparing the software for our reboot. Hexport remains. Yeah. Irradiated zone. Okay. Well, the first thing I'd like to do... What's this? Utsubo Safe House? Okay. I could do some of this. Do I earn money off of it? No. I do need to repair my dice, though. Buying a meal wouldn't... Well, actually, I don't need a meal. What I could use, though, is some supplies, because we need to feed the cat. All right, feed the cat. I still find it funny that when we got Stray, that Seraphin was super confused because he didn't know what a cat was. All right, repaired. And why not? We'll do another warehouse shift. Although, we do need a shit ton of supplies too. Oh! Ow. Oh. Your location discovered at least, where? Where's the location? Okay, no new location. Cool. Game lied to me. End cycle. We also... Oh god, glitch dice. All right, well, let's feed the cat. Explore. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, we gotta buy a meal because we have no supplies left. Part of me wishes we could have increased our capacity for supply amounts so that we don't have to keep so that feeding the cat doesn't end up being such a problem. Okay, if we can get one more positive, we can actually get this one done. Fuck! I figured that wouldn't work. Almost. Could have gotten it. God, even now Underworld is playing in my head. It's just... Y'all, if for any reason you haven't seen or listened or haven't seen the animatics compilation or listened to Epic the Musical, please go. It has been a brain rot in my brain and it will not fucking leave. In the best, like, complimentary, in the best way, but I'm like, God damn it. It's just in there. Junie knocks gently on the frame of the berth's doorway. Sleeper, can I show you something? There is an excitement in her eyes that makes it impossible to say no. Junie talks most of the way down into the Habped facility, which is no short journey. She explains the scale of the data hidden within the station's mainframe, but also the issues with extracting it. When the Habped was first expanded, when it became Darkside, after the collapse, no one gave much thought to preserving the existing network architecture. She guides you through the substructure, picking a route through the maze of shuttered passages. They parasited their tech directly into the existing system, so now, thousands of cycles later, the two networks are totally enmeshed, dependent on each other. I've never seen the word enmeshed before. I wasn't sure if that was the right way to pronounce it. God, this game's teaching me all sorts of new stuff. Junie takes a series of sudden turns as you realize this is a very familiar route to her now. Messing with the Solheim network means messing with the systems that keep the city going. She leads you down a long corridor, one you recognize as leading directly to the core. I hope you haven't been Let her explain. This meshing is not a good thing. She shakes her head. It makes Darkside brittle, fragile even. This place is no more of a knife's edge than anyone else could believe. You look around. Certainly the underside you are now traveling through looks cycles away from collapse. But all the data we've been extracting, that I've been archiving, Junie continues, it could help us here. It could help us clean up the Habped system. And we could turn this place into an archive so that others could come to learn more about the ruins Solheim left us. What is in the data? Anything you can imagine. Everything from corporate message records to blueprints and maps to random search histories of the cubicle employees that definitely weren't trying to look up convention trips or, I don't know, Reddit. She shakes her head. It's too much for me to process or understand. But thanks to our visits to the bunker, I have a plan and something that will help me. You arrive at the doors to the mainframe, and Junie suddenly stops. I spoke to Bliss. They told me... She pauses. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you have a lot to deal with right now. Don't worry. Junie smiles weakly. I'll do my best. Junie hits a button and the doors hiss open. You both glide into the mainframe, its columns studded with blinking lights of active traffic. I got the idea from you, actually. Well, from you and Overseer. Junie glides over to the mainframe. You look at the mainframe and you see now that it is surrounded by new terminals and wiring, some kind of external access network Junie has set up. I've had to beg, borrow, and steal to get this going,
but now we have safe access into the network. It's low risk. She moves over to one of the terminals. It's not quite finished, though. You recall the last time you were here. Lane, Overseer, the spear of white light, and then nothing. You wonder where Overseer is now, if they are anywhere at all. You remember how it felt, being dissolved into the network. The vertiginous possibility of life without a body. Vertiginous? I think that's it. Kind of like vertigo? Something flickers through the lights, a shimmer of movement, like a fish beneath water. Sleeper? Junie breaks her train of thought. Are you listening? I was saying I need more data to finish preparing, she shrugs. I know. We've already extracted so much, but there's often so little of it that's usable among the bit rot and corruption and random Reddit posts and bot comments. God, so many bot comments. Why does Twitter have so many comments that are bots? Where from? Hellion Gate is the place to get data. Apart from here, it's the biggest pre-collapse facility in the belt, and its hostile conditions means a lot of it is untouched. If it's too much before your reboot, I get it. I just want to do something with everything we've managed to grab from the bunker and the wrecks. We've pulled it from the dark. Let's expose it to the light. Junie turns back to face you. Well, this is what I wanted to show you. She looks away. That's very impressive. It will be when it's finished, she smiles. Thank you. Junie turns back to the terminal, and before long, she is fully engrossed. You imagine she barely even remembers you were here. You leave Junie to her preparations and start your ascent to the streets of Darkside, thoughts of Overseer flicking in the back of your mind. All right. So Junie needs 6. Oh, God. So we got to go back to Hellion Gate. But first, positive. You watch as the last stack of crates is guided up and out of the cavernous Utsubo safe house. You doubt it will be long before this space is filled. Darkside will not tolerate a vacuum for long. The city takes every opportunity. Its inhabitants build in every crack and crevice. Also, I think we'll probably do Cadet's Quest, since that's within a reasonable distance. As Utsubo's spaces are cleared, they will be occupied. The gang's legacy will be buried under factories, kitchens, markets, and housing. But the people will remember the cold and desperate grip they once held on this place, even if the city does not. Come to gloat. The voice takes you by surprise, and you turn to see Orin, floating in the shadows, arms folded. He drifts forward into the pool of yellow light.
You overthrew a tyrant. You should be pleased with yourself.
I don't remember the voice I gave him. It's been a bit.
His tone is flat, and you are unsure how to read his statement. It wasn't just me. Many people did this.
I suppose.
Orin eyes you.
But from what I heard, you burnt those pale eyes out of his skull.
He smiles a thin smile.
I imagine it was quite the sight.
You don't recall the moment of Lane's death. In fact, the abstract nature of that moment, almost dreamlike, means you had almost forgotten. You tense a little as his scream comes back to you, a screech of white noise bathed in white light. Orin is still watching you.
He almost would have respected you for that doing it. He almost would have respected you for actually doing it.
Orin inspects his knuckles.
If he could have respected a creature like you.
Fuck you! Fuck you for that!
He grins, pleased with your response.
We're all on the same side here, Sleeper. I came here to clear out the old disease, just like you.
Orin gestures to the space.
Utsubo had to go, and I came here to be part of the process. You can't burn everyone you don't like out of this place, I'm afraid.
Orin folds his arms.
This is our home, whether you like it or not. I didn't like Lane. It's hard to imagine anyone did. He saw Darkside for the opportunity it was, and woke Utsubo from its slumber. He turned a gang into an administration, and a city into a machine. He was too erratic for my taste, perhaps, but he held this place, shaped it into something. I see that you have no intention of doing the same. So, what will happen now?
Orin meets your eye.
You have created a space that must be filled. Will you take responsibility for that at least?
The people will decide.
Oh, will they?
Orin chuckles.
I see that you don't know the first thing about Darkseid and its people. The people decided on Utsubo. You changed that. Now you want them to pick something else? They are opportunists, all of them. They will choose for their own benefit only. In the end, I should thank you. This city was done with Lane.
Orin gives you a nod.
And I will be honest enough to admit that you did what I didn't. But never forget that you are an outsider here, and Darkseid hates outsiders.
Before you can respond, Orin kicks off and glides up towards the upper levels of the safe house, leaving you alone in the empty space. Though you do not put weight to his words, they still sting. Perhaps you think there is something to them. Who are you to decide the future of a city when your own future is falling apart each cycle? In your decline, a spiral that can trap others in its wake, or a necessary transition? Or is your decline a spiral that can trap others in its wake, or a necessary transition? The crisis before a new shape emerges. You hug your arms close to your sides, suddenly cold in the stripped bare safe house, and ascend once more. Okay. Also, I just realized we have another upgrade point. I think I should throw one into interfacing. There we go. I want to do some shifts here, get some money. Because we need supplies desperately. Fill some fuel, and at least get one supply to feed to Stray tomorrow. I could try for another thing, but I don't want to lose energy. Yeah, that's what I was scared of. And I only earned 3? Nah. All right. Oh, that. Oh, hello. You feel it the moment you wake, a flicker at the edge of your perception, a sensation beyond your body. A blinking, a tugging, and then numbness as something shuts off within you. The panic is instant, the feeling of something not being right within you spiking your fear. But no pain comes. You feel no further shifts, and as time stretches out, you settle again, to calm yourself. You know immediately that this is what Bliss was referring to. Your frame's decline, the one the reboot should reverse. You flex a little, feel your body, try to ground yourself in it. It will not collapse this cycle, but something has changed. This is how it will be until the reboot. You hope you have long enough to finish what you must. You begin the cycle slowly, holding the pieces of yourself together. You try not to let your thoughts wander to darker things and fix your eyes on the tasks ahead. The belt drifts past the window, following a flow of its own, expanding, collapsing, shifting its own weight. Shifting it its own way. Okay, sorry, brain paused a second. People say it is drifting away, getting further from Hellion's star. That one day it will drift out of the system altogether, into interstellar space. You find a strange solace in that, somehow knowing that entropy is the way of the universe makes your own decline palatable, at least for a little longer. Okay. Oh, my permanent damage is coming back. Oh, an overseer can't help me. Oh no. Well, I know I need food and money. Just need to get some supplies.
And then we can do Cadet's mission. Okay, I think 3 cycles should be fine, I hope. Yeah. Feed the cat. All right, let's go. So we have Cadet. You know what? Let's take Flint. Oh, Bliss isn't with us. Right, because they're doing the stuff. All right, let's see. Flint's first mission with us. As the rig drew closer to Hexport, the crew became silent. Now staring out at what is left of what was once a thriving station, you feel empty. The full extent of the damage is impossible to ignore. Grim. Seraphin shakes his head. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like we were here that long ago. He sighs, and now this is what's left. You look at the clouds of scattered debris, the layers of the station torn open to the void. It is a reminder of how close the war and the unseen atrocities of the inner system are to shifting into the belt. I don't like digging around in a place like this. Seraphin turns to you. Let's be quick about it. I need to know what happened. Seraphin nods. Looking at this place, I'm not sure that's going to be possible. You look out at the gutted station. It's hard to know where you might start among all the debris. You head to the airlock to suit up and get ready. You ready for this? Sleep Cadet catches up with you in the passageway. This place is already giving me the creeps. I'm ready. Cadet nods. If there are any answers to be found, we'll find them here. Keep your eyes on the shadows. Flint is getting suited up by the airlock. We can't rule out scavengers and grave robbers, and they won't react well to visitors. Cadet takes a suit from the locker. Seraphin said the radiation is lower than expected, but still too high for prolonged exposure. The suit should keep most of it off of us, but we can't take long out there. The stress on the suits and the rig, she sighs. We'll be forced to leave in 3 cycles. Cadet grabs a helmet. Not a moment more. You get ready too, your mind filled with memories of Hexport. You hope they will help you navigate this shattered ruin, but looking at what's left, you doubt it. Okay, a 5 and a 2 and a 6 and a 5. Look at you, Cadet. All right. Oh boy. Let's throw them a 5. Are there any other things to do? No, just this. I'll use a glitch dice on this, why not? Nah, I didn't think so. That's stress on me. And cadets all have modifiers that are negative. Oh no. Okay. Now, Flint, can I trust you? Yeah! Let's fucking go! You hear that, Sleeper? Cadet stops among the debris just outside the ruined exchange. The search so far has been thankless, a grim slog through endless debris. You are glad of the break. You stop, floating in the air, and listen. There's a hissing on the open comm channel. A hissing you've grown used to. Now that you listen to it again, though, you notice something else in the noise. There's something different to it now. A texture, a modulation of tone. Is that a voice? Cadet cuts in. Someone is speaking. Her eyes look wide through the faceplate of her suit. You listen carefully, and yes, perhaps there is a voice there. Though it is quiet and distant, it could be a person speaking. Or it could be some residual signal from an automated system, one that is slowly dying in this wasteland. You see Cadet moving around, testing the signal strength from different positions.
It's coming from the direction of the docks. Her voice hisses through the comms, layering over the broadcast. Are you sure it's worth checking out?
I'm not.
Seraphine's voice cuts in over the comms.
We can't go chasing ghosts, not with so little time left. The rig can't sit out here getting cooked by radiation, and neither can you.
Seraphine's voice distorts and shifts.
You should move to the epicenter where Factory Row used to be. That's where all this went down.
Cadet looks at you, and you know she wants to chase the signal to the docks. She wants there to be someone there, calling out to you. You look out over the remains of Factory Row, the epicenter as Seraphine called it. It is now a cloud of debris and fragments of bays, a shadow of what it once was. For the first time in a long while, you think of Karsten. You look back at the remains of the docks, a few warning lights and systems still flickering away in the ruins. With not much time left here, you have a choice about where to focus your efforts. Right, the merchant we stole our ship upgrade from. Oh, but yeah, we really have limited time here. Okay, Cadet can do that. And Cadet and me. And I and Flint can take care of that. So how about I throw a roll over here to see what happens? Okay, good, positive. Love that. All right. Okay. 6 glitch and a 2. Nope. Okay. Halfway on that. Almost halfway on this. Didn't think so. Halfway on that. All right. End cycle. That's not good. Okay. Uh-oh. Game? Hello? The objectives are gone. All of the map markers are gone. Uh-oh. I don't think that's supposed to happen. I think a glitch just happened. That's not good. I can't complete the mission without this. Well, I can't, even the markers for the rig are gone. Oh no. Oh, that's really bad. I can't chat, I can't complete the mission. I can't complete it. One, it was a bad call on this in general. And two,
That's it. Seraphin comes into the bunks. We are leaving now. This is someone else's grave, not mine. He turns and heads to the cockpit. Seraphin's right. The risk is too high. We leave now. Flint gets up and heads to the cockpit. There's nothing left to say. The radiation is too great a risk to stay here any longer. Your time is up. You take a moment. You look out across the remains of Hexport. Countless lives changed by the actions of a few. You won't be sad to see the back of this place. What limited answers you have found here do little to reassure you that this will not happen again. You close your eyes, knowing that you will never wipe the image of a shattered Hexport from your mind. But for now, you must turn and face the future. Time to go. Yeah, I mean, literally, there was nothing I could do about that. The game glitched on me. Bliss has been in touch, Sleeper. Seraphin turns and looks over his shoulder as soon as you enter the cockpit. He is sitting in the pilot's seat, running diagnostics on the console. They say they're ready for the reboot. Did they say anything else? You know, Bliss. Seraphin rolls his eyes a little. They worry. He turns fully in his seat. How are you feeling? Rough. Seraphin nods and doesn't answer. He seems to be thinking about something else. I know the reboot needs to happen. Seraphin speaks slowly, carefully. And I know the risks. I could see all that. But I also know what happened last time. He pauses. I don't want you to forget that. Forget again. To lose all this. He gestures around the cockpit. Everything we've done. Neither do... You'll still have it all, but I'll be alone with it. Seraphin looks down. That's not what I want. I'm not trying to scare you. I just needed to say that if the reboot doesn't go how we want, I'll miss you. I'll miss all this. I will too. If you remember... Seraphin laughs shakily at his own joke. Or if you remember. Seraphin turns back to his pilot console. Whenever you're ready, we can go to Flicker Row. To Bliss. Seraphin pokes at the console in front of him. You have things you want to wrap up first, I understand. I would too. Here. Seraphin tosses an object across the cockpit and you catch it out of the air. Take that with you when you go to Bliss. It's good luck. You open your hand to see a familiar metal disc. A coin. Its engraving rubbed away to little more than vague shapes and signs. Tala gave that to me. Now it's yours. You can't run from this forever, all right? He glances over his shoulder and smiles. We've done enough running away. He turns back to the console and returns to the diagnostics. You leave the cockpit and run a hand along the ribbed metal wall of the passage outside. Is it really possible that you could forget all this? All these layers of memory, of experience? Perhaps you can put it off a little longer. Take another tour around the belt, tie up loose ends. Or perhaps you've had enough of that. Why try to escape the inevitable? You try to recall how it felt when you awoke after Lane interrupted the first reboot. Even that is fading into a hazy memory, told by an unreliable narrator. Maybe this is just the next step then. One of thousands that you put here, and the first of the thousands more that will take you onward. You come out of your thoughts, still unsure, still aware that the decision of when to take that step ultimately rests with you. There's not much to celebrate on your return from the remains of Hexport, but you are glad to be back here all the same. Yeah, God, that was just... Literally, that was not my fault. Literally not my fault. Like, and it sucks, because so far, everything in the game has been pretty stable, but that's just the one glitch where all the icons just vanished. There's something surprising in that. Darkseid as a haven, not a prison. The slowly occurring idea of this overgrown city as a home. As you have seen in Hexport, stability cannot be taken for granted. Not anywhere in the belt. But Darkseid has a solidity and life that feels like it might endure. Cadet catches up with you. We need to talk. She looks around. But not here. Come, I have something I want to show you. Cadet leads you deep into the heart of Darkseid, through quiet corridors and bustling streets, on paths you didn't know existed. As you glide after her, the station seems to grow in your mind. Its possibilities multiplied by the routes that pass through it. Just through here.
Cadet leads you across a covered bridge, the view on either side looking down caverns of lit units. This close to the center of Darkside, the air is warm and the passages are quiet. Here, Cadet smiles. This is the place. She points at a low and wide entrance with storage racks inside. Next door is a smaller unit with a window looking out to the passage. It seems like a workshop, perhaps abandoned or never finished. It is dusty and dark. I've been keeping an eye on it. It's abandoned. She glides inside and slaps a wall pad. Lights flicker on, illuminating a constellation of dust. She floats in the glittering specks. Looks promising? Cadet laughs. Okay, I know it's a wreck, but it's a start. When we've been on Darkside, I've been coming out here. I just happened across it, but I knew when I found it. I want to start again, Sleeper. She knocks on the middle wall. And this is where I'm going to make that start. Also, we have an ad break starting in 5 minutes. What we saw in Hexport, what's left of it, just confirmed it to me. We can't stop these people. We can't stop the war. She runs a finger along the storage racks. We have, what, the drive? Our suspicions? Who can we pin this to? She looks over at the workshop. I don't want to think about it anymore. I want to start again. I want to work, to ride my bike and courier packages till I fall into my bed at the end of the day with nothing left. Cadet picks up an old corroded tool from the racks. I want to build something here, in spite of everything, in spite of the fact that they could take it all away. Because that's the point. To go on living without conceding, to go on building, trying to build something where we can find it. That's what I brought you here to understand. So you know why I'm letting this all go. You're giving up? How much am I supposed to face? To take in? Cadet's eyes flash with anger. How many crises are enough to prove myself? I'm not giving up. I'm stepping away. Cadet meets your eye. I'm not ashamed. My old life is gone. Clearing my name on the far spindle doesn't matter. The Spindlejacks will have forgotten me, but this place? Cadet smiles. It doesn't know me at all. You know where the drive is, what it contains. You know what happened at Hexport. Cadet's eyes shine in the workshop lights. Take it from me. It's yours now. I can't carry this anymore. We should do this together. There is no future in this, Sleeper. Cadet folds her arms. I will be here building something. If you want to do that together, then we can. But not this. My travels are over. If you need to find me, I will be here. Cadet smiles. Thank you for all you've done. I hope you can understand why I need to do this. She turns and disappears deeper into the workshop. You cross the bridge again, Darkside glowing on all sides. You think of the drive, buried deep in some compartment within the Scatteryard's hub, filled with data worth destroying a station over. It is yours now. But you wonder as you cross back through the city, your mind racing, how can all this end well? That could have been a very different outcome if I didn't have the fucking glitch happen. Oh well. And Bliss is... where's Bliss? Yeah, that was genuinely, all of that was just an ungoddamn fortunate thing. Alright, well, I need food. I have Seraphin's coin. Just a little extra money. We do also need to repair ourselves a little bit. We've got the components for it. All right, stress down. And then get some food. and I need at least one supply. If I could just get a little bit of money. I doubt this will work, but I'll try it. Okay, just enough. Cool. All right, well, let's feed the cat. And then we'll go into our ad break. So I'll be going for probably another half hour or so, and then I'll probably stop. So after this, we'll have no pre-rolls. So 3 minutes, get yourself some water, stretch, whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for your patience, everybody.
All right, let's see about what else we can do. So we have no dice, and we just fed the cat, so we may as well end. There isn't really much else to do. God, I don't like the conclusion we've gotten with Cadet, because she seemed like she had so much drive about this, and it's written well enough, like her reasoning, that she does essentially have a new lease on life with what happened, but doesn't feel good, you know? It just don't feel good. So we could also get Junie's data, but I may save that for next time. Try this, I guess. Okay, cryo, gotten. Yay. Begin reboot. Okay. Yeah, so we just put the coin in. It's so sad. Okay, well, gonna earn a little money. Get some supplies. Now, I don't know if we'll have any other kind of contract style missions to do, but we'll see. I thought Yu Jin would have had something else to put forward for a mission potential, but I haven't seen that. Oh, revisit Oliveira. We could do that, actually. Build Junie's archive, revisit Oliveira. Deal with the drive. Okay, so we can go to the scatter yards now, too. So which one's closer, actually, from Darkside? Scatter yards. Both are in distance. Cadets feels like it has a very strict time limit, so let's go to there real quick. The workshop of Cadet's data scraper friend is just as the two of you left it. You remember the cycles you and Cadet spent in here poring over that dark data, the strange fragments of the drone mind's protests seeded among the cold code. You find the drive where Cadet told you it would be, in a compartment under the padding of a bunk lined with thick shielding that makes its contents undetectable. As you pull the drive out, the metal cold on your hands, you have a sudden urge to smash it to pieces. This object which escaped Hexport when so many others didn't. Someone, somewhere wanted the data on this so badly that they would spend any number of lives to get it. But something went wrong. Some miscommunication or mistake. That's all it was. A tiny slip and it all fell apart. Now the drive is in your hands instead. You turn it over in your hands. You know the drive contains Conway access codes, control codes, and perhaps more besides. Data of great value. Data that would win a war. You also know you are sick of thinking about it. Take the drive. You slip the drive into a pocket and close up the workshop. You head back to the rig, and as you do, you turn the drive over in your pocket, unsure of what the next step might be. As you glide through the hub, you pass shipfitters and crews, all moving on their own vectors. It feels strange to carry the drive past these people, all of them totally unaware of the threat it might pose to them, to this station. I know this guy. He's from the first game. I forget his name, but he is from the first game. I recognize that pose and the portrait and his face. Excuse me. A stranger stops you in the passageway with a hand on your shoulder. Can I ask for your help with something? Their sudden appearance shakes you out of your thoughts. You quickly take your hand out of your pocket off the drive. You look at the stranger in front of you. He is roughly dressed in a heavy coat, but he is otherwise unremarkable. You could have passed him many times before and not have known. I'm looking for something. He looks over his glasses at you. A little lost drive. Who are you? This matter concerns my client more than me. He leans back a little, his voice calm. So introductions won't be necessary. But the drive belongs to my client, and he would be very happy to see it returned. Suddenly something catches your eye. A set of dice, like those used to play Star and Stoker. The stranger is playing with them in one hand, turning them end over end in the station's microgravity. What's with the dice? The stranger looks down at them, as if he had forgotten he was holding them. I must admit, I love to play games to pass the time. I enjoy the chaos of Star and Stoker, with its unpredictable shifts. He spins the floating dice. My brother, however, prefers the systematic progress of Tavla, with its inevitability. I suppose it runs in our family. He sighs. But I won't bore you with childhood stories. Please, let's be direct. He gives you a friendly smile. My search for the drive brought me to the scatter yards, but from here the trail went cold. That was until you arrived. He pushes his glasses up his face. Then the trail lit back up again. Just like that. The stranger moves his hand in his jacket pocket a little, and you see a shape in there, a box-like impression in the fabric. My client never intended these events. You must understand. One of their other contractors proved to be overzealous in an attempt to conceal their mistakes. The result was the regrettable situation you saw in Hexport. But for all that to be for nothing, that would be a waste beyond the original act. Piling insult on injury. The stranger sighs. There is much to be gained in a system desperate for peace, for war to be ended. And wars tend to end when one side concedes. I don't believe you. The truth does not necessitate your belief in it. Only a few possible futures remain for the belt. My client will facilitate one of the better ones. That is why I am here. But if you need additional persuasion, I am authorized to offer you 300 cryo as a reflection of your efforts. The stranger smiles again, his tone never straying from his businesslike calm. Now, can you return my client's drive? The stranger's hand shifts in his jacket pocket. You have the feeling this is not a choice you can deny.
We're not an entire station's worth of people gone over the data that is on this thing. Over a mistake from someone high up? Fuck that. I'm making their life hell. 300 cryo? No thanks. We've got ambient stuff that we can do. Break it. You grip the drive in your pocket so hard the casing starts to crack. You see the stranger's eyes flash a warning. You dash the drive against the metal wall of the passageway, splintering into 1,000 shards that pepper the two of you with cuts and scratches. The stranger shakes his head. A regrettable choice. You hold yourself ready, expecting a retaliation, but it does not come. The stranger simply turns and clucks away down the passage, not willing to waste another word on you. Your transaction is complete. You head back to the rig, and as you do, a weight lifts with each corridor, each junction. As you board the transit shuttle that will take you to Marco's yard, back to the rig, you think of Hexport and what is left of that place. You will never forget what happened to the station, but you will not let it steer your future. Cadet refused to be stuck into that web of secrets, and now you refuse too. There will be no account of Senate Stats crimes. There will be no reckoning. But there will be a life outside of the future they want for the belt. You know it. Better that than having that data just be back in that circulation, frankly. That was not an easy choice to make, and it wouldn't have been a choice that I would have made in the first place if the game did not glitch on me the way it did. That was as I said, completely out of my hands. I would not have done that. If the icons would have just showed up, that is very frustrating. I'll admit it. It's a very frustrating problem. God damn it. All right, well, we'll head over to Oliveira, but first, we gotta buy some fuel. I think it's 7 fuel for it. Make a purchase. And then we'll go to the hollow. I hope we don't get stuck here. All right. And on to Oliveira, which will take another 5. Actually, considering how much time I've got left, let's see. Okay, so I have process scrapped. I can, yeah. Is there anything else I can attempt on here? Didn't think so. But I can at least... I need to earn some money. And they can probably scavenge some fuel, because we need some of that as soon as possible. I don't know if there are going to be any other contract-based things after this, but we'll see. There's seriously no money earning? Maybe a line of raise? Okay, yeah, there we go. It's been a minute, so I didn't remember. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. That done, let's get some fuel. Then we can head ourselves over to Oliveira and hang out there for a bit. And I think that, depending on how far it goes, we could end stream there. Source supplies, actually. Okay. Stop! A shadowed figure meets you in the docking tunnel. No saboteurs allowed! Hey, kid. Seraphim glides forward and ruffles the figure's head. Still playing sheriff? Nah, just bored. Xander grins. What are you two doing here? He glides along you and Seraphim as you drift through the tunnel. None of your business. Seraphim pushes past. No offense, kid, but you aren't actually the sheriff around here. You pass through the familiar doors and back into Oliveira. Well, yeah, because A-cab, too. A surprisingly pleasant feeling. Oddly, like coming home. You came! Cadence is there in the docking concourse, waiting to greet you. I'm impressed. Seraphim's face immediately erupts into an uncontrollable smile. Cadence! He turns to you. You two remember each other, right? Sleeper saved the colony. Cadence's deadpan answer seems intended to cover this for Seraphim's awkwardness. Yeah, I remember them. The 4 of you descended down through the docking tower together into Oliveira itself. The colony looks much the same as when you left, though you pick up from Cadence that changes are coming. Carmen's back with a vengeance since Darkside. Cadence smiles. He's all about expanding and improving the colony, which is why I asked you to come, Sarah. The nickname slips out, but both Cadence and Seraphim clock it and glance at you. As you reach the core of the colony, you see the increased activity. There are more colonists than you remember, and they move back and forth with purpose, carrying crates and tools, the chatter less than usual. We need all the help we can get to sort the place out. Cadence notices you watching the stream of freight and people.
Carmen wants to do some kind of event and anniversary, I think. Honor the founders and all that.
Gonna be a big party, Xander grins. Can't wait.
So, Cadence glanced between you and Seraphin. What do you think? Up for some colony-mandated manual labor? She grins. Seraphin gives you a sideways glance, observing your response carefully. How could you say no? Okay, so we're helping with a party. All right, that's neat. And this seems to be cut across all of this. Oh, bad energy hit. Okay, got some energy back. Okay, and some energy back there. Yeah, I'm just kind of nervous about how much time we're spending out, though, because of, you know, our inevitable crash. Another flicker in the dark before waking, and a numbness that follows soon after. You wake slowly and stare out at the flickering stars and the distant rocks of the belt. You let the thoughts of fear or panic wash over you. They pass like the soft dust of the belt, disappearing into darkness. You find yourself once more, as you do every morning, as you will continue to do, cycle after cycle, until you can't. You wonder what part of you has changed, what system is failing. Your frame is silent, its complaints only felt in ambiguous sensations. The glitches seem random, unpredictable, but also inevitable. They will only increase in number until you reboot yourself. But you do not know what lies beyond that. At least the glitches are dependably familiar. The reboot is anything but. Okay, so that's number 2. So we do get a number of cycles before we have to ever do the reboot. Good to know. And I think I do want to do some fuel sourcing, actually. Because holy shit, we are low. And any trips that we could make are all out of our reach. There's an irradiated zone between us and Darkside, so we have to fill up completely. If not, get, like, a multitude. Okay, and as we'll get at least a little energy back, because even a failure means we still get energy. So soon enough, all of our dice will end up being glitched. Oh god, this is gonna suck. Oh, didn't think so. So that was a good number of cycles before the glitch happened, so we should be okay, I hope.
The sad thing is about this whole situation is I don't think I'm gonna even have time for Junie's quest. I'm scared if I'll even have time for Junie's quest, frankly. Because I want to be able to fulfill as many of the quests as possible, but if my questing is not looking very likely, then oh well. Shit. All right, we'll do this. Get some food in us. All right, with this, we've got this done. And I think after this event is where we'll probably stop for the stream tonight, because we are closing in on that 3-hour mark. The past cycles in Oliveira have been busy enough to take your mind off most things. All the heavy lifting and manual work has been a welcome distraction from the looming specter of the second reboot, and the good mood of the others has been infectious. Seraphin has been almost annoyingly upbeat, his relationship with Cadence the worst kept secret in the colony. But working alongside them, it's hard to ignore their deep feelings for each other. Xander has been happy because he has something new to rib Cadence about, and Seraphin, with his self-serious manner, is an easy target for pranks and teasing. Xander also hasn't been able to stop talking about the party, which he already seems to have decided will be one of the highlights of his youth. But now, finally, the cycle of the party has arrived. The canteen is done up with hanging light strips waving gently in the asteroid's microgravity. The strips themselves salvaged from the emergency lighting of wrecked starships. With the work stopped and all the colonists yet to arrive, you find the reboot filling your mind once again, growing like a shadow. Something on your mind? The voice takes you by surprise. You turn to see a colonist you haven't met before, an older man in some sort of supportive chair. His hair shot through with gray and his face sallow.
Didn't mean to startle you. My apologies.
His pale eyes scan you.
It just seems like you might need some company.
There's a strange look in his eyes that you can't quite place. He's looking at you like you've met many times before, but you have never seen him before in your life.
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
He gestures to the canteen with its hanging lights, his chair propelling him forward with little puffs of air.
The young people did such a good job. Warms my heart to see it like this. Never thought this rock could ever be a home.
He looks sideways at you. Have you lived here long?
Oh, since the beginning. Before there was here.
He smiles.
Back when there was just a wreck and a rock. But let's not chat about me. I want to know about you.
He turns his chair a little.
What's eating you? The way you were staring at those light strips, it was like they were about to leap down and strangle you.
His chuckle becomes a cough.
I'm afraid of the future. I can see that. I am myself most days.
He sighs.
After a certain point, you realize it isn't going to get better. So all you have to wait for is things to get worse. This body of mine is on a downward trajectory, that's for sure. But it's mine, and I've grown into it. And I guess in the end, I like it because it's mine. And it'll carry me all the way to the end, and then go on and become something else entirely. I don't know why, but that thought always helps me.
He coughs 3 times, hard, like gunshots. The colonist squints at you.
Sorry, I'm not good with reassuring people. I just remembered that.
He smiles.
But I do like chatting.
He looks back at the light strips.
Really lovely, isn't it? Just beautiful.
You look back at the light strips now as the hum of people arriving filters into the canteen. There's something in the air. Anticipation. The sense of a rare moment passing through. Something to hold on to and then let go. The light strips really are beautiful. When you turn back to the old colonist to agree with him, he is already gone. Hey, sleeper! Seraphin pushes through the now gathering crowd towards you. Got you a drink. He offers you a pouch of some amber liquid. Hey! Cadence comes up alongside you and hugs you with one arm. I wondered where you were hiding.
She smiles warmly at you with her infectious smile. You think about mentioning the old colonist to her, asking her about him, but Seraphin hushes the two of you. Carmen is about to start. You follow Seraphin's eyes to the front of the canteen, where, above the heads of the now quite large crowd of colonists, Carmen floats, surveying the room.
We met this cycle.
Carmen begins, his voice loud but clipped, formal in a way you haven't heard before.
To first remember those founders of this colony, those lost and still with us. I will never forget the distress call that brought me here, to the wreck of the Pilgrim Seed. And I will never forget the scenes that greeted me. And I know some of you were there too.
A rumble of acknowledgement moves through the crowd.
But I also know that many of you weren't. That many of you came here to take refuge from other troubles. And I would like you to be able to remember too.
You glance at Cadence, her eyes fixed with incredible intensity on Carmen. They look wet in the glow of the light strips.
There were thousands of refugees on the Pilgrim Seed, and too many, far too many, were lost. Those from Ember's Step, Ember's Song, Ember's Hearth. Those from the Three Sisters, from Erlin's Eye. Many are not here in Oliveira any longer, taking their own paths across the belt and beyond. But we acknowledge them all, remember them all, lost and found, present and absent, because without them there would be no colony here.
Sorry, word cut off, brain went weird.
Before the wreck, Oliveira was a handful of buried bays, a scrapper hideout, a place for old and tired mercenaries like me to hide themselves from the universe and forget what they had done. But when the Pilgrim Seed was wrecked, it brought the universe back to Oliveira, and I could not hide any longer.
Carmen stares out across the crowd with a hard glare.
We built this canteen from the Pilgrim Seed. We built our homes, our farms, our refinery. We built our independence from their failed hope.
A rustle of discomfort goes through the crowd. Carmen pauses to let it settle.
We should not be ashamed or afraid of this. We will remember this gift. We will build on it. This cycle and every cycle after. We will thank them with our actions.
The crowd mutters agreement. Carmen takes a deep breath and straightens up. A weight seems lifted from him. The weight of testimony.
Now, here in this room, with you, I will thank them with my laughter.
A cheer goes up.
I will thank them with my joy, with my celebration.
Another roar of approval.
We will all thank them as loudly and as chaotically as we can.
The room erupts into cheers and applause. Join in. You cheer and applaud too. You whoop, and Seraphin laughs nearby. Then you feel a pair of hands on your arm. Cadence pulling at you, grinning and crying. And you feel another hand on your other arm, Seraphin dragging you into the crowd. Suddenly you are in the thick of the crowd. So many bodies in one room, dancing and spinning and shouting. It is like nothing you have ever seen. You notice the rest of the crew in the melee, a flash of a familiar face here and there among the masses of colonists. You see Xander being thrown up in the air by a group of different kids of different ages, laughing madly as he bounces off the ceiling. And for the rest of this cycle, you think about nothing else but the joy of those around you, and the joy it instills in you. You wake up in your berth, the same light that always shines on the belt shining incessantly through the window. You are slow to rise, slow to begin this fresh cycle. At some point, Seraphin arrives back onto the rig, with no indication of whether he slept or not. You find him in the cockpit, leaning in the pilot's chair, looking out at the lights of Oliveira and smiling. "Good party," he chuckles. "Not sure I've seen anything like it." "Same." Seraphin laughs again. "You really let it all go, huh?" He shakes his head. "I'd love to see it." Seraphin yawns and stretches. "So," he sniffs, "Oliveira's all fixed up. Colonists are happy, blah, blah, blah. Where to now? Don't you want to stay? Here?" Seraphin shrugs. "Still a bit too much of a backwater for my tastes." He grins. "Cadence understands, don't worry." Seraphin pauses a moment. something passing over him that makes him shiver. I heard from Tala. He looks away. Wellspring is still in transition, but the Union Council is taking over. Kirk got what he wanted. The blockade will come down soon, but he sighs. I'm not sure I'm ready to visit that place yet. He looks at you and smiles. When I come back to Tala, I want to have something to show for myself, you know? I don't think Tala cares. No, she doesn't. Seraphin looks away. But I do. Maybe once this reboot is done, once the blockade is down, maybe we can visit then. Seraphin takes a breath. We'll get there some cycle soon. You aren't sure if Seraphin is trying to convince you or himself. He stretches, shaking off his feelings. For now, though, the belt is ours to explore. Oliveira have filled our fuel tank, so it's really up to you where we go. He gets up. While you were deciding, I'm going to dig up some breakfast. And he glides out of the cockpit. You take a moment to look out across the tiny lights of Oliveira, dwarfed by the crater and the wreck that sits at its far end. Not bad. Not bad at all, you think. God, good fucking note to end this on. That made up for the failure that I had earlier. Okay, so all that's left is Junie's archive, so we can do that next time, and then that probably means we just finish out the game. I mean, aside from what Cadet may have for us in back in Darkside, but other than that, nothing else I can really think of as far as other objectives to do. So yeah, so next time we'll go back to Hellion Gate, get some data, come back to Junie and give the data to her. And that might be where we end up rounding out the game. So yeah, finale is approaching quite fast. But yes, that was wonderful. We got to confront Lane, we did some story stuff. Actually, hold on, did I hit? Yeah, I hit menu. Again, though, the only downside is that we did have that unfortunate glitch of the icons on Cadet's mission disappearing. I wish I could have fixed that. I wish there was a way to fix that, but unfortunately that just happened and that was going to be incompleted. And it sucks too, because I could have, like, maybe if I didn't split my attention on the roles, but I felt like I could have done it. It just wasn't gonna happen that way, sadly. But, oh well, I guess that's something to figure out in a future playthrough. And I would play through this game again, 1000%. I would totally play through this game again, maybe with a different type of sleeper. Because Extractor's been fine, but there have been some moments where my pick of sleeper and my pick of crewmates has definitely shot me in the foot. So yeah, that's the lesson I guess to learn from this playthrough is, boy howdy, I need to learn to pick my situation better. But with that being said, I appreciate you all for joining me tonight. It's been very fun as always, getting to chat and share this game with you all. And as I said, this will be the only stream that I'm going to be doing this week since I've got a very busy week ahead of me. Not just with work, but also the con I'm going to, so yeah. But this VOD will be up soon, so VOD watchers on YouTube, if you're seeing this, hi. If you want to see when I go live next, though, my Blue Sky is the best place to check for that. So check over on my Blue Sky for that to when you can be shown on that front. I also post on the YouTube community page, so be sure to follow me over there as well and subscribe and all that so that you can get alerted to it. And yeah, no other announcements as far as that's concerned. So VOD watchers, take care. Thanks for watching. Stay hydrated, keep your postures checked, and I'll see you next time. Bye.